And we're tired. We're tired. It didn't take George Floyd. It didn't take Breonna. It didn't take Trayvon. It took many, many years. That took 500 years of this bullshit that we're tired of. So we are here. We are present. We're going to be loud, and we're going to be proud for what we stand for what we stand for as a community, for what we stand for as DACAs, for immigrants, for people who are left voiceless. We are here to give them the voice. So we're gonna march out there for them, for our next generation that won't have to put up with this bullshit. So we're gonna go out there, and we're gonna say, whose streets?
Our streets!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
I can't hear you. These are streets? Whose streets?
Our streets!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
I can't hear you. I don't feel it. You need to give it more heart. Whose streets?
Our streets!
That's it. Whose streets?
Our streets!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
Just want to give you all thank you personally as a DACA myself for being here. Years ago, I was scared. I was like, oh, the police is going to come get me. But now I'm a chingona vibe, you know, a badass vibe. And I'm here for all my brothers and sisters. Woo! So we're just going to wait a little bit. So mingle around, talk with some people, and then we're going to start shortly here.
Week, the House of Representatives, I don't know if you guys know, but they passed a bill that would lead a pathway to citizenship for people who have DACA, TPS, which stands for Temporary Protective Status, and then DED. While MIRA continues to demand immediate and full legalization for all immigrants, this is a huge victory by us, by taking to the streets. So we did this by demanding that politicians listen to us. So what you guys are seeing happening across the country needs to continue. Because if we don't speak up, then nothing's gonna happen. So our demand is for Amy Klobuchar to use her self-proclaimed skills to get this bill passed in the Senate. Because if it doesn't pass the Senate, then I'm still stuck. I still have DACA. Angelica and Samantha still have DACA. And we have to continue to renew it every 2 years. And we're also demanding that they do not make any concessions. So that means that they're not going to throw another community under the bus for my protection. I will not allow that. So we all need to stand together, black, brown, white, whatever you want. We need to stand together so that another community is not hurt at your geez, I can't think of words right now. But another community should not be thrown under the bus so that you can prevail, I guess. But yeah, with that being said, I will introduce Angelica, another MIRA DACA recipient.
I'm just kidding. This is a reality of a Latina who has to take care of her siblings while fighting to finish high school and working to help pay bills, worrying about college and her aspirations, but yet at the same time worrying about her future being taken away because of DACA at a mountain's peak. Heavy mouths, stabbing my creativity. Stereotypes stood up on my skin. Dreams of what people call imposible. Cries of surrender with go back to your damn country. See, I wrote that 2 years ago. And here we are again, standing. We don't know what's gonna happen to us. No sabemos lo que va a pasar con nosotros. And I'm not just talking about our fellow Latinos. I'm talking about our people. Y'all, please listen up. We're all here because we all are fighting for something, right? And as I sit here, I also want to say still a little scared. I was still a little scared because we don't know what's going to happen to us. We don't know what Friday or Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday could mean for us, whether it's DACA really terminating, calling it unconstitutional, and then what's going to happen, you know? So I guess as I stand here, and the reason why I read that poem was because I want us to show that this battle has been happening for a long time. And here we are now. Give everyone a round of applause because we are here now and we are still fighting, and we will not sit back and let the government do whatever, uses us tokens, call us criminals and dogs, and just kill our people and put them in cages. See, that's not right. They call us illegal, but this is stolen sacred land. This is Dakota land. Can we acknowledge that? Can we acknowledge that? This is Dakota land and we have to respect it and we have to take care of it every day. There is no illegal human being. Kids should not be in cages. And black and brown people, we have to stand together. Morenos, todos tenemos que estar juntos because people, the government wants to see us divided, but not. Y'all, come on now. We got melanin. We got everything. We got spicy food. We got beautiful people and kind hearts. So I guess as I stand here now, I just want to say that fuck 12, fuck La Migra, fuck every systematic oppression. That's how you're just killing our people and dehumanizing them every day. So let us be loud. Let us be clear. And if you're scared just like me, then a la verga, put that fear away because we are here together. And we got each other's back, y'all. We got each other's back. Así es la familia. That's family, y'all. So let us fight. The people united.
We'll never be
I can't hear y'all. The people united.
We'll never be defeated.
The people
United. We'll never be defeated.
The people united.
We'll never be
I
defeated.
can hear y'all. The people united.
We'll never be defeated.
Iraq had the opportunity of going to the border, and I was one of the members that went there, and it was eye-opening to see what goes on, how ICE and CBP brutalizes our communities just the same way that the police brutalizes black and brown bodies. So our next speaker, Victor, who also went to the border, unfortunately can't be here, so we're gonna have another MIRAC member, Zarlesh, speak his poem or piece on his behalf.
I can't fall asleep. I can't even rest. I can't give my absolute best towards my goals and my dreams. Dreams? Who knew that a dream could turn into a nightmare of uncertainty? It's a new Monday. Let me check my phone. Scrolling. No updates from the Supreme Court. Let me hit refresh. Scrolling and scrolling. No, not today. Guess we're good for now. What is to happen to me? What about my parents, my people, those who are relying on me to make it? My God, I don't want to cross that desert once more. How I wish I could control things. How I wish I could relive those joyous moments, knowing that I could finally step out of the shadows. Moments where I could carve out my own path and finally do me. Absolutely. Sí, claro. I am just as hardworking like the rest of y'all. I won't let you down. Te lo prometo. I promise. Please let me do what I can to give back to you as thanks for protecting me, for believing in me, for sticking by my side, porque eres mi familia. Yes, there was hope back then. Hell, it wasn't much, but at least I could have lived without fear for once. I don't want to go through that desert again. All the struggles my family had to put up with just to get to the other side. And for what? Just to have the government tell me this was all a joke? All my success that I've attained throughout the years, and you're telling me it can all just go away? This fear is real. I could lose it all. This fear is real. Please, Just let us be. Aside from my people, I hope that the employers and my colleagues I met along the way can see the humanity throughout all of this. Because I definitely ain't got no faith in those who abide to serve and protect. They ain't praying for me. Can't even let us protest in peace. CBP and ICE can't even let us grieve for our fallen brother. Rest in power, George Floyd. Instead, y'all choose to side with our oppressors and to constantly remind us of your presence here in the Midwest. Haven't you had enough? Is being heavily funded to over-militarize yourselves not enough to satisfy your hateful ideologies? I've heard the stories, how nowadays it's close to near impossible to get past y'all in the South. Instead of funding for our futures, y'all choose to build a fucking wall. Bull! How about us though? Thankfully, you and I are not alone. We are here, and we are going to stay. We are not going to let them separate us. We are not going to let them destroy our livelihoods. Porque somos presentes.
Okay, so another reason why we're here at Amy Klobuchar's office is because she is one of many politicians who continue to uphold the criminalization of black and brown bodies. Something that I realize is that Democrats are snakes and they're fake sometimes because they promise the cookie and then they end up giving us crumbs. We're not asking for crumbs, so they're clearly not listening to our demands. So, one man who knows this all too well is Michael Toussaint. Sorry. Michael will share his story about how Amy Klobuchar used the racist system to lock up his son, Mayan Burrell, when he was only a child. His son, Mayan, maintains his innocence to this day. Please welcome Michael.
How y'all doing? First off, I'd like to say my condolences to George Floyd. Actually, there's so many people that this has happened to. I come in 1976. A lot of y'all came because y'all heard this was the American dream. But I've been here all my life and I still haven't received the American dream. So, it's two kinds of dreams. It's a dream with the rich and a dream with the poor. It's a dream with the black and it's a dream with the white. Now, for the very first time of my life, I'm 56, I'll be 57 this year. I've actually seen white, black, brown, all kinds of nationalities and colors come together. Now, even when I was growing up in the history books, they were telling me all these false narratives about this land, and this land was stolen. It was really stolen. Now what happened to my child is something that happens in a lot of homes that's never talked about. I'm gonna start y'all from the very beginning of what happened. My son's name is Mayan Burrell. He was charged with the murder of a little young lady named Taisha Edwards. I like to put a name on her because she was a person that didn't deserve to die. She was studying at her table. And the media plays a 13th juror in all cases. See, you see stuff on the news and you automatically, you believe it. Most people do, because they're supposed to report the truth. Well, they used my son for a pawn in a political game. And I actually had the chance to talk to Amy Klobuchar this year because she was talking about how in her home state of Minnesota how people appreciated her, this and that, but she was speaking for people that, black folks, I'm black. I don't appreciate what you did to my child. And not to say that she didn't hit her target, but what I'm saying is that knowingly knowing that the system knows when they lock people up and they're innocent. The proof has been shown. My son is named Myon, M-Y-O-N, Burrell, B-U-R-R-E-L-L. Never once have I ever asked anybody to believe it just because it's my child. Because when our children leave the house, we don't know what they do. But over time, I found out that my son really was innocent on this case. I talked to a lot of people. I knocked on a lot of political doors. The first person then I talked to, he say I never talked to him, but I know I did, was Keith Ellison. These are people that you call bootlickers to me because as long as it looks good for them, they're easy. They'll take any case that make them look good. You know what I'm saying? Because what happened to George Floyd was an open and shut case. Well, okay, I'll take this one. Versus when I talked to him about my son, I was actually talking to somebody I know named Bobby Joe Champion, and Keith jumped in the middle and said somebody was too political. But then I remember when he was getting voted in, and there was some black people of my own color coming talking about vote for him because he's black. Well, I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for him because I didn't know nothing about him. And you can't just tell me because you're black that you're automatically going to do right by black people. So what I found is that my son was convicted of the murder. He was 16 years old. The police coerced witnesses. It's on a videotape. Look it up where he say that he don't need the right person, just put something on his plate. And then they said it happens all the time. Mike Freeman, this is what he say. We do it all the time. Well, if the people that you are supposed to trust in the law are breaking the law, then how do you have trust in them? You know? And when I see like a lot of people that use George Floyd's death as a plateau, now they care about black folks. Now they care about poor folks. No, it just looks good. It just looks good. I watched them at this man's funeral actually place themselves, Amy, the mayor, right behind Martin Luther King III. Now, out of all the places you could have been sitting, they sat right behind him. It's a photo of him. So don't be mistaken. And second of all, my son has been in prison 18 years. This morning I wake up and I watch the mayor, the governor, not the mayor, go back for something that happened 100 years ago, and just to make it look good, now you want to do something for black folks. You all of a sudden, now you want to find out that these innocent men were innocent, and all of a sudden you want to expunge them. My son's in prison, and you tell me you push this case off till the next time, December or something. Literally, till December. But here you are, these people are already dead and gone, and you're trying to make a statement, oh, I'm there for the black folks. No, you're there because it looked good what you did this morning. When I see, like, this is so serious, I mean, it's serious than you can imagine, because I always say the future is right in front of me. White, black, Hispanic, Mexicans, Indians, whatever culture you are. If not for y'all standing up, they would have killed some more black people during this rally. But see, the thing is that they didn't want to make the mistake of killing some judge's kid that had the audacity to come out and march for something that he thought was right or she thought was right. You know, it ain't that they didn't want to do a job, it's just that now we don't know who the targets are. When you talk about freedom, and for people that want to come and have the American dream, people overseas in other countries, all they see is what they, oh, it's a beautiful place. This is where I want to live. And they want just what the white folks want, the rich folks, the people that's calling shots, just to live, to be able to secure their kids. I see these babies out here, and and I feel so good to know that something's changing. Something's changing because where I'm from, it was black or white. I was in the 60s when the riots was here. So I know the true meaning of racism. I come from Omaha, Nebraska. The only difference between what Amy does and the political people is the difference than what I heard this man here do today was they hide behind the back and they just don't expose themselves. But this gentleman here is supposed to be our leader. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, but listen to what he's saying.
I can't breathe. Don't ask me the question.
This is the President of the United States making a mockery of this young man's life. So what I would say is, don't forget about my son. Don't forget about all the people that are innocent that's in jail. We allow politicians to pull buttons and drink coffee, laugh and joke over our lives. Well, Amy, this has to stop. And it stops from the police chief to the mayor to everybody. Because y'all deserve to live in America just like I do. And the dream that y'all have, don't let them take the dream from y'all. I see these young children up here, I'm gonna take 1 second to be honest and fair. I see them and they laughing and they having fun. And they don't know the difference between having fun and wanting to live. They want to live, they see it. So sometimes when people laugh, they don't think it's funny. They just don't think the way everybody else thinks. You know, but them children and the babies and all these other people that deserve to live, if it's not for people like these people speaking out, what would the world be? And if you want a racist society and your children are born and raised in this, who's to say that what happened to my son can't happen to nobody else's? You know, I thank y'all for giving me this plateau, and I really thank y'all for understanding that dream. Because without dreams, there's no life. Thank y'all for having me here today.
So, to be honest, I used to have an issue with the idea of abolishing the police, but I do not have an issue with that anymore because when you really think about it, the police were initially established to catch slaves. And that institution is still going on. And then now we have ICE, which was established, what, in 2003? And they harass immigrants. They come to their houses at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then they detain someone. Or they pull up on you in an unmarked vehicle telling you to come with us. Would you feel comfortable and safe to go with them?
Fuck no.
So all these systems that harass our communities need to be abolished. And the politicians need to listen to us and our demands because we know what we need for our communities. The next speaker is also a MERAC member, Samantha. Please introduce Samantha or welcome her.
So my name is Samantha. I am also DACA. I'm here to share a brief of my story. Pardon me that I might cry because this is still very sensitive, it's still very fresh, and it's still continuing to this day till God knows when. Just about 4 years ago, my brother, he's older than me, still has schizophrenia. At the time when he was detained, we didn't know. The way that it started is that he rushed off in the middle of the winter. It was snowing, and he just ran off with flip-flops, shorts, and a tank top. So me and my mom knew something was up. So as my mom went to go get the car, she told me to go and run after him, which I did. And he's a man, he runs faster than me, he's bigger than me. So it took me a while to catch up to him. And I haven't shared this in part of my story because it's very triggering for me. But when I got to the park that he was at, I think some lady might have called the police on him or something, but the cops were there. And they were pointing a gun at him. My heart instantly dropped. As sick I was thinking, I was already thinking for his funeral. Because as you know, POC and the police don't have a great relationship. So I stood there not knowing what was gonna happen to him. But I knew I had to do something. As they were pointing the gun to his head, I stood in front with my hands up and said, please, don't shoot. I was there for a good 10-15 minutes trying to negotiate with the police to not end my life or my brother's life, but to get him help, mental help. So they lied to me and they promised that they would if he would get detained. Me, not knowing anything about ICE or how to deal with police situations, because this was my first time, I let him take him, which was the biggest mistake, because they did not take him to the hospital as they promised. They took him straight to jail, to Crystal Police Jail, let him go, and then ICE picked him up. From there, it has been an ongoing battle. He was incarcerated for 7 long months. And let me tell you, those 7 long months felt like hell. ICE is a big pile of shit. They don't let you know where your loved one is. So we went for 5-6 months not knowing where the fuck he was. And that destroyed my mental health very much. They had him in solitary confinement. And he has horrific stories that he still doesn't want to talk about. But the one that he did open up and share is when they were trying to give him medicine and he refused, because in prison they don't tell you what the hell they're giving you, they just give it to you to calm you down. He told me that they would get riot shields, pin him against the corner of his little cell, and forcefully inject him with whatever substance they had to tranquilize him. And that to me is inhumane. You don't do that even to a dog. So why are you doing that to people? That's not what you do. And it's not only that. It's that Sherburne and all the other facilities that he was been at are fucking assholes too. I tried to go visit him to make sure that he was still remembered, to make sure that he was still with us, and they would tell him, well, he's not here. Go try another facility. Or we don't have an Armando, he's not here. So it's like, what the hell? And when he got out, he was really, heartbroken with me and my mom, because he said that he thought that we forgot about him, when it wasn't that way. When it was those people who run inhumane facilities and make people like my brother feel like they're alone. So I'm here to stand, to share my story, to show people like Amy what the fuck she's doing and what she's going to continue doing if she doesn't change. So when we march to that jail, I will be marching for my brother and all the people who have been treated as him or even worse, and all the people who have mental illness, because that's something we don't talk about, especially in the immigrant community. So I want to thank you guys for coming here, letting me share my story, standing here supporting DACA and all of our immigrant brothers and sisters. So when we march in these streets and we say, whose streets? We're gonna say, our streets! Whose streets? Our streets! Whose streets? Our
Ready, va a pasar en medio. Muchos se tardan. Need to move, move. Move, no, no you. Let's not run. I said the sound system, let's run too slow. You want to stop in the middle so we can spread?
Just tell us what to do, William.
Let's be low, let's be clear. Immigrants are welcome here.
Let's be loud, let's be clear. Immigrants are welcome here.
Let's be close, let's be low, let's be clear.
Immigrants are welcome here.
When people of color are under attack, what will we do?
Stand up right back.
When immigrants are under attack, what will we do?
Stand up right back.
So we're gonna stop a little bit. If we're gonna open the middle. Para que entre el camión. So we're gonna open.
So, we're gonna try to spread out a little bit. Like, no, you guys can come forward, but we're gonna try to like spread out like physically, like stretch. We're gonna like stretch our march. So we're gonna look really long. For those people who do yoga, that ain't my thing, but I know people do it.
Yeah, fix this, fix it.
Oh, now it's on.
better areas right now.
These racist chumps have got to go. Hey, hey!
Chinga la migra! Chinga la migra! Chinga la migra! Chinga la migra!